Hello, I'm Claire Louise Hyde from BeHealing.com. Welcome to Be Healing. This is your pick a card reading for this week. It's going to be a Celtic cross, a tarot reading this time. And so you get to choose which one you are resonating with. So is it the crystal that's speaking to you right now? Is it the flower? Beautiful frangipani, it smells gorgeous. Or is it the shell? So I am going to go into a Celtic cross reading for you. As always, there is an extended version, so there's a deeper dive that goes with this as well. And so it's the Celtic cross, but then, so it's the what the reading is about, what is hindering you, what's crossing you, how things look on the face of it, what's really behind that, your past, and what's coming in the future, and then the cards that aren't in this reading, but I have picked out in this deck and I'm going to put in the deep dive reads. It's also what the reading is about, your fears, your hopes, and then the outcome. And so if you're resonating with these readings, you're going to want to book in for that and I'll send that to you. Also, this weekend, the weekend that I'm publishing this, I'm giving a tarot reading this time. So a full Celtic cross, personal reading for you, private reading. I'll send you a photo of your Celtic cross and then I'll give you that reading. Send it out within 24 hours. It's half price this weekend, so a brand new style of reading for you. If you want a personal version of this, that's going to be just 75 Australian dollars instead of 150, which is about 50 American dollars instead of 100. So amazing time to book in for that. You can find the details of that up there, also in the description box for this video as well, and on my website, behealing.com. So, which is it to be? The crystal? The flower? Or the shell? As always, I'll put timestamps in the description box below, so you can jump ahead to your reading, and also in the comments below as well. So take your pick, and I'll see you there in your reading. So for those of you that chose the crystal, this is your reading. So I'm going to do a Celtic cross here. Where shall I put this crystal? I'll put it there. With the Muse Tarot, the box is there. This is a Muse Tarot by Chris Ann. So let's see, what have we got for our crystal people? What's going on at the moment? Pick the cards out and then I'll go through them. So, what the reading is about, the core of it, this is the temperance. Temperance, so having to have patience about something. What's crossing that is the moon. What's it on the face of it? Let's have a look. How do things look on the face of it, on the surface of what's going on for crystals at the moment? Here we go, we've got some cards out. So on the face of it, it is the 8 of emotions. What's really behind that is the 6 of materials. Can you see all those cards there? The past. What's the past all about? The past is all about the 3 of voices. This is what is past for you, crystals. And what's coming in is the 10 of voices, right? An ending is coming in. Now, this card is also what the reading is about too. That's going to be in the extended, in the deeper dive read. So if you do want that deeper dive, if you want to have this full reading, so if this part of it, when I go through this reading, is resonating with you, then you want to get these other cards out too. What are your fears? Crystals, what are crystals' fears? There's the fears. What are your hopes? The hopes for crystals. It's that one. And the outcome. The outcome for our crystals. What is the outcome? For sure, this is the one, right? This is the one you're going to want to get that deeper dive read for. The outcome. Outcome of this particular situation that's going on in our crystals' lives at the moment. There we go. There's your outcome. Right. So let's get into it, crystals. I'll put your crystal up there. Right, so this reading is all about temperance. You've been having to wait for something, and as I always say in my readings, you think you're waiting for the world, you think you're waiting for something else, you think that you're waiting for things to open up again after COVID, you think that you're waiting for all of these things, but what you're really waiting for, crystals, is yourself. And so whenever we have stuff going on that stops us, that causes us to wait in our lives, it's not because it's those external factors that are causing it. Those external factors are a reflection of what you've got going on, right? And so if you were all green lights, if you were all open, if you were all ready, then you would attract the factors toward you that would be all go too. But you haven't been doing that, crystals. You've been on pause and you're waiting for yourself, right? You're waiting for yourself. And so what is it that you've been waiting for, crystals? Have you been waiting for a relationship? You've been waiting for your money to come in? You've been waiting to get a job? Or you've been waiting to move house for some of you? Whatever it is that you've been waiting for, you're actually waiting for yourself. So let's get into that. Why are you waiting for yourself? How can we get you moving forward? What you've got crossing you here is your emotions. It's the moon, it's the emotions. And it's also the unknownness as well, I'm hearing. So what is stopping you from moving forward? What is it that you're waiting for? Well, for some of you, crystals, you've got something emotional going on. You've got an emotional attachment to somebody, and that is stopping you from moving on. So these are you guys that are trying to get into a relationship where you've got a past relationship that you're still emotionally attached to. I'm hearing for others of you, you're trying to move house or move location. What's stopping you? An emotional attachment to someone, or maybe a place too. So you've got that emotional attachment there. Now, this is the unknown for other people as well. So if it's a job that you're waiting for or movement forward with your business, then it's still unknown. There's still an unknown factor in that. So it's not unknown in the circumstances external to you. It's unknown within you. And so what I mean by that is we all have this mystery path, right, to what it is that we want. And our higher self knows the easiest way. It knows that path to what we want. But it's not known to you. It's not known to you, your human self yet, right? And this card is telling me you're having to wait for that to be revealed to you. You're having to wait for some signs to be revealed to you for you to move forward. And so sometimes the timing just isn't right, you know? It's not ready for the signs to be revealed yet. Your higher self knows that maybe in a week's time or maybe a few days' time, then things will just be in place and it can give you those signs to show you the way forward. So if you've been waiting on something and the signs just aren't showing up, if it all seems unknown, that's what this is about. That's what you're waiting for. You're waiting for your higher self to kick in like it is. It knows. And if you just trust that it is going to kick that path in, I mean, it already is. It's already got it available to you. It just knows that like in a few days' time or in a week's time, that it will be able to give you what it is that you want. So there's some unknowns about this. That's why you're having to wait. Now, on the face of it, you've got the Eight of Emotions here. Look at this. There's an eclipse going on there. So the sun's not even out. Walking in the desert, parched. So it seems like all your abundance, everything that you want, isn't around you at the moment. It's like you're left out in the cold, this one. The Eight of Emotions. There's nothing there. You don't have water. The sun's not even out. Like this stuff just isn't happening. That's what it looks like on the surface, right? That's what it looks like on the surface, that you're by yourself, you're not being helped, you're out in the cold, you don't know what's happening, the sun isn't even out, everything's working against you, the universe has forgotten about you, your higher self isn't even listening to you. That's what this card is about, right? But there is change coming, because the eclipse, it doesn't last long, it only lasts for a few seconds and then the sun comes out again. So that's how it looks on the face of it, and that's maybe the way that you're seeing things at the moment, crystals. There's just nothing going on. There's just nothing going on, but what's really behind that? Look at this. So even though it looks like that on the face of it, that like there's nothing going on, you're not being supported, and the universe isn't moving you forward, Six of Materials is behind that. And this is amazing. This is victory. You've got a victory coming. So you're waiting for much better to come. What's really behind that is you getting what you really want. Not what you think you really want, but what you really want, right? So your higher self is, and the universe is working on your behalf, because look at this. That's what's behind it. And so if you've been trying to manifest something, maybe you're wishing too low. maybe you're not going high enough for the things that you want, because this is the victory card. This is like stuff manifesting. Look at her there, rejoicing. It's like, woo, roses everywhere. I've manifested them. Big smile on her face there. What you really want is coming in. So maybe your higher self knows better than you. Maybe it knows that really you want much more, and that's what's coming to you, right? That's why you're having to wait. Now, in the past, ooh, you've got the Three of Voices here. This is the Three of Wands. She's in hiding now. She's in hiding. She's hiding behind a door. This is about communication. Doesn't want to communicate. Hard times. There's tears. If you can see on this card, there's eyes up the top. There's lots of tears coming from those eyes. Really hard emotional time that you've been through, crystals. Wanting to hide away. Needing to hide away. To protect yourself. So you've been in hard times, maybe around harsh people too. You've had to hide away. You've had to protect yourself. You've had to keep yourself to yourself to protect yourself. Now, this makes me think, if this is in your past, this makes me think that to come out of this requires you to learn empowerment. And I'm going to get some clarifier cards to go deeper into all of this. But yeah, it seems to me that if you're having to hide away like that, this is like somebody who has to do like psychic protection and be a bit of a hermit, hide away to protect themselves, because they don't trust themselves in the moment, So if someone is abusive that comes up to them, they don't trust themselves to stand up and speak out and draw the line and say no, or fight for what's right, that kind of thing. If you don't trust yourself to do that, then you have to kind of hide away. And so this, to me, in the past, seems to be saying you haven't quite learned empowerment yet. You haven't learned how to stand up for yourself. Maybe you're resistant to that, maybe because you have been abused in the past and you don't want to be an abusive person, and you think that standing up for yourself is being an abusive person. It's not. It's not. And so that's what you've been doing. You've been in this emotional state, hiding away, though. That's what I'm seeing from this card. It's really hiding behind closed doors, because you don't know how to empower yourself. Now, this is amazing. This energy coming in, it's the Ten of Swords, which isn't a brilliant card, but it's the end of something. It's the end of having to deal with things in that way. And so this, to me, seems like you are stepping into your empowerment. That you are learning that empowerment. You're learning how to draw up boundaries. You're learning how to stand up for yourself. You're getting through that fear that stops you from speaking out and drawing up those boundaries and enforcing those boundaries with people. So you've got a big ending coming up here, and it's an ending to this. It's an ending to dealing with things like this, so you can be empowered. Yeah. So it's like stepping toward that Queen of Swords energy of being that chilled out chick that knows that she's cool, she can be wide open to everybody, because as soon as something that she doesn't want comes in, she'll just cut that out. She's got a sword ready there. She doesn't have to be aggressive with it. She can be cool about it, but she's got that sword there to cut that thing out. Right. So let's get some clarifiers for this. So this past and what's coming in, this past and this future, with it being about empowerment and the way that you deal with situations, whatever it is that you're waiting for is waiting on this. It's waiting on this empowerment journey so that you can have what you really want. So this tells me that if you crystals, if you have to been hiding away, if you've been having to protect yourself like that, then you're not open to receive the abundance and the love and the move, or whatever it is, the job that you really want, because you're a little bit closed down, because you're a little bit scared. You're having to protect yourself from everything, because you haven't learned how to protect yourself in the moment with just from the danger that's in the moment, if that arises. And so that's why you're waiting. That is why you're waiting. But let's get some clarifiers. I'm going to use Lynn Bell's Inner Self-Guidance cards to get the clarifiers. So give us more about this Temperance card, about the waiting. What's all that about? Right, you've got brilliance and love what is. And so you are reaching for more. You know how I said before? It may be that you're just reaching too low. I'm not getting that with this. You're waiting for what is right. It's like you've decided, crystals. This is what I want. No, this is what I want. I know that I deserve that, and this is what I want. That's brilliant energy to be in. So you got the brilliant card, love what is. So you have learned to love yourself, learn to reach out for what it is that you want. You're asking the universe for that. The universe is saying, right, crystal, yeah, I can give you that. But first of all, you need to empower yourself. And you need to realize and you need to trust me, your higher self, and the universe, that it's bringing it in something that you're asking for, or better, or even better, is bringing that in. And so that's what you're waiting for. And I think you probably already feel that already, that the wait is for a good reason there. But what about this moon? Why is this moon hindering you, this unknown or this emotional stuff? Probably is emotional stuff with that. All right. It's about respect. So you got the patience card, so that's really similar to the temperance card there. Yeah, the moon is crossing you because of respect. So maybe the reason that you're not standing up for yourself and drawing boundaries and empowering yourself is because you think it's disrespectful for people. So you've still got an element of people pleasing going on, that you think you're still trying to be nice, or you think it's important to be kind to people, please people, even if they're abusive to you. Maybe you believe it's your job to love people so much that they stop being abusive. It's not your job to do that. They'll be faced with their own stuff. They'll have their own crashes, usually, is what wakes people up. They've got a higher self. They don't need you to step in, and certainly they can't get loved out of it. They can't be loved by another person enough. Do you know why? Do you know why that is? Because I know a lot of people believe that you can love someone out of their, what's going on for them, their issues. It's because they've got to learn self-love. Self-love is the only thing that's going to get them out of that. Now, they don't have the crashes that they really need in life if they're being enabled. If someone is providing that thing that they really need to find inside themselves, then they don't get those lessons, yeah? So that they can be really lazy if they're having that love coming externally from them. They don't need to find it within themselves. And it's when everything falls away, it's when people around them start being empowered, pulling out these swords and going, no, that's when they're actually faced with it. That's when they're faced with the true reflection of what it is that they're doing. Yeah. So an abusive person, if everyone rejects them and they get thrown out of the tribe, that's when they've got to face themselves. That's when they've got to have the dark night of the soul. That's when the higher self kicks in and teaches them the self-love. They've got to have that. And it's actually enabling it, stopping people from doing that when you're people pleasing. It's stopping them from getting there. And so if you think you're disrespecting people by standing up for yourself and by drawing up boundaries and by seemingly not being kind, you are actually being kind when you give an honest reflection back to someone who's kind of abusive or doing that kind of thing. So that's why you're waiting. To realize that it's actually good to draw up boundaries and to stand up for yourself. What about this 8 of emotions on the surface of it? So it seems like you're out in the desert, out in the cold, there's no sun. Yeah. It's judgment and refocus. So that's calling you to refocus. So you've got this pessimistic view at the moment. You're looking at lack. You're looking at the sun not being out. You're looking at how dry it is. You're focused on all the things that aren't going right at the moment and judging it for that. But look, this is what you've got underneath it. So it's really good. Like, you're headed in the right direction. You just can't see this progression, or until you've watched this reading, of course. You can't see that this is what's going on. Hopefully this reading tells you, this is what's going on. So if I just do this empowerment thing, then I'm going to see what's been waiting for me. Then I won't need to wait anymore. Then it's going to come in. It's going to manifest. And so that 8 of emotions, it's seeming like lack on the surface of it. It's just telling you, you don't need to focus on that. Refocus on what's going good in your life, because it's just around the corner. It really is just around the corner. What you're waiting for is just around the corner. So what's really below that? What is it that's manifesting? You've got all of these manifestations going. The 6 of materials. It's like victory in a manifesting way, this one. It's great. It's a great card. Okay, that's interesting. So, but you've got this. So this is really what's behind it. It's like what's about to be revealed is all of these manifestations. You've got encouragement and you've got jealousy out with this. So this is telling me that you've got a mixture of people around you. We all do. Some people are going to be jealous of you when they see you manifesting all this glory here. Some people are going to be encouraging of you. So you've got a real mixed bag around you, which tells me that they're all a reflection of you, right? Which tells me that inside of you, you've got a mixed bag inside of you too. So part of you wants these manifestations and part of you doesn't want the manifestations. Now, the part of you that doesn't want these manifestations, the part of you that is thinking that it's scary to get these manifestations. You need to deal with that. You need to deal with that part of you, because you're always, any kind of fears or any kind of reasons that you don't want things to manifest, like this, like people could be jealous. You might not receive the love that you're getting. You might be ostracized out of the tribe that you've been in that aren't getting these manifestations. Your family might start asking you for handouts, like if it's money that you're manifesting, or you might have to leave your colleagues behind if it's a job that you're manifesting. There's always downsides to manifestations. It's not always roses. Not always roses like in this card. And so you need to deal with those reasons, and you need to convince yourself that it's actually the benefits outweigh the downfalls. And so maybe write that down, crystals. Maybe write down, the pros and cons for all these manifestations that you want. And let your mind be eased by that there will be more pros. For sure, there'll be more pros. So that's what's behind that. It's kind of a little block that you've got there, or maybe a few blocks that you've got there. And the people around you are showing you the mixed bag that you've got inside of yourself. Half of you wants to manifest it, half of you doesn't want to manifest it because of the potential repercussions in that. So tell us more about this three of voices in the past. Why have you been having to hide away? What happened to you, crystals? What happened? Oh. This puts a new slant on it. Okay. So you've got abundance and own my idea here. And so, I was thinking that this was about people and stuff, but of course it makes sense because it's manifestation that we're talking about here. So the reason you're having to hide away is you've gone for this abundance. You've gone for something similar. You've tried to manifest something similar in the past, and it didn't work out for you. You didn't get what you wanted. It actually did work out for you, because just as this is saying, your higher self is saying, well, there's an empowered path to it. You've got to become that person that can actually have this, that can actually be a match to what you're trying to create. And that's what happened in the past too, even though you didn't see that, right? I wasn't making those videos back then, maybe these videos back then. And so you felt you had to hide away because you thought that you were a failure. This is saying you actually went for that abundance before, whatever abundance it is you're trying to manifest. You owned that idea, and then it seemed to fall flat on its face because you were focused on that reward. You were focused on this. You were focused on this happening. You thought that would happen. But what actually happened was this kind of thing happened. You were on a path of growth. A growth path is what actually happened. And maybe you didn't persist long enough to actually get that abundance at the end of it. Maybe you gave up. Maybe you thought, oh, it's just not working, and you quit on it. You've got the Own My Idea card, so you're stuck with it for some time, but maybe not the full course, or maybe you are still sticking with it. Maybe you're still on that path to it. Could be. But you're not seeing that. You haven't seen that, and it's kind of upset you because you're crying now. So you've hidden away. That's what I feel. It's like you closed the door on it. Well, it's not happening. I'm disappointed. It's not happened. And so that's what's in your past. But this time, you're going to be empowered. So let's get some clarity on this 10 of voices. What is this ending that you're having? It feels like victim no more. That's what it feels like to me. It's like you standing up and making a decision. That's it. I'm not going to be nice to all of these people anymore that I've been trying to please to get what I want. I'm going to stand up for me and do the right thing by me. Yeah. Okay. So the end. So I asked, what is ending here? And I got the overwhelming card. What is ending? The overwhelm. The struggle. It's like trying to do something and it not working. That is going to be over now because you're going to be in a different energy, this empowered energy. You got the play card out with this, so that's what you're moving toward. Much lighter times, much easier times. It's like the end of seriousness and into playfulness, the end of overwhelm into ease. Ease and joy. This might as well say ease and joy. But empowerment is the key to that. You've got to be the one with the wielding the sword now, ready to deal with people and with things to cut out of your life. That's what you need to do, crystals. Sounds very promising. So if you want to get that deeper dive, that's a written reading. I'll go into all of this again. And I will go into what this reading is also about too. So it's kind of similar to the middle card, but a bit more information on that. Your fears and your hopes and the outcome. And so you can get all that full reading in the deeper dive. I'll pop a link for that up there. So thank you so much for watching, crystals. I hope you have an amazing weekend, and I'll see you next time. Bye. So if you pick the flower, this beautiful, sweet smelling frangipani, then this is your reading. So let's get into it. So I'm going to do a Celtic cross. Pick your cards out for the Celtic cross from this Muse Tarot right here. So that's the card in the middle of this. We've got the Six of Emotions there. I'll get all the cards out and then I will go deeper into it and get clarifiers toward the end as well. Another couple of cards here. This is what is crossing you. This is on the face of it, Ace of Voices. That's how it appears on the surface. What's really behind that though? Oh dear. Okay, what's really behind that is the Priestess. Interesting. Just move these to the side. What's in your past? The Two of Inspiration. What's coming in the future? The Page of Inspiration. Interesting. And then this is what the reading is also about too. So this is going to be in the deeper dive. These are the four. So this video is not too long. So if all of this reading resonates with you, then you can get the deeper dive reading, which is a written reading. I'll go into all of this and I will go into these last cards as well. So this is your fears, your hopes is the next card. Hopes for our flowers. Hopes. What are your hopes? What are flowers' hopes? There we go. And the outcome. The outcome for our flowers. There we go. Right, let's get into it. So, what this reading is all about, flowers. The flower there. It's all about the Six of Emotions. Wow, she's dreaming there. Six of Emotions. Can you see? She's got her bags packed. It's like she's dreaming, but she's looking a bit forlorn there. She's not looking so happy, is she? It's like, I've got all of these dreams, and I'm longing for them. I'm longing for them to happen. There's an inner child there as well. Can you see? On her suitcase there, her inner child. She's had these dreams for a long time. For a long time. But she's looking forlorn. They don't seem to be happening. That's what the energy of this reading is about. So this is about dreams that you've had for a long time. Your biggest dreams, you know. This is about life path kind of stuff. So it might be, you know, you might be a healer or something. And you've always known that you're a healer. And you're like, well, why isn't it happening yet? Or why is everything that I've tried not been working yet? This could be you've had like a dream of having a family. And then you can't get into a relationship with someone. You can't find that right person to have a family with. It's that kind of thing. It's those big dreams that we have in life. It's like, this is what I wanted from life. Well, why isn't it happening yet? The inner child is there. And so the inner child tells me, you know, there's things from my inner child. There's things from my childhood, like films that I watched as a kid, or TV programs that I watched as a kid, or books that I read as a kid, and or just experiences that I had as a kid. And I had that inner knowing that, yeah, this is for me. This is my lifestyle. This kind of way. This is something important to me. Like even Thailand was in there. I was in the musical The King and I when I was a kid. I think it was the first musical that I was in. A little bit of an actor and a singer when I was a kid, and yeah, I knew that was that story, and that Thailand was really important to me. And so this tells me, your inner child, there's things that you wish for as a child, there's things that you knew as a child, and it's not coming true yet. You're looking forlorn. It's like, what is this never going to happen? Like, is this my life? You know, just having to not have my dreams manifesting. That's the energy of it. Now, this is interesting. The Queen of Materials, it's what's crossing you there. So this is what is hindering you. This is really interesting because this is a really positive card. Look at her there. She's actually not this person. She's this person here. This person here has had this big poster made of herself of her success, right? This is hindering you. So you're waiting for these big dreams to happen, and they don't seem to be happening, and it's almost like, well, it doesn't look like they're going to manifest then. Why would I have all of these dreams as a kid if they're not going to manifest? And what's hindering you is the Queen of Materials. So it's almost like you've been trying to manifest it so hard. You've been doing the vision boards, you've been even making a poster of your success, you've been writing it down. You're trying to manifest it so much that you're missing the actual path to it. Or you're missing it's like you're trying to coerce the universe into giving it you, instead of just relaxing and following that path. So there's a path to it, right? And maybe the time is not right yet. So this is you really trying to make it happen. Like I can look back now, and I've had this business for 20 years, and it's, say maybe I don't know, it's been up and down, but I'd say like the first 18 years of it were kind of a struggle. It was kind of a struggle. I put a lot in and I didn't get a lot out. It's not the case anymore. But all along that journey, it was a path, and I can see, and I was doing this. I was trying to manifest success so hard. I was putting so much work into it. I was making my vision boards. I was writing my goals down, and I got something from it. This is the only thing I've had to do for the last 20 years. So I'm not, crying poverty or anything like that. But for the amount that I was putting into it, the amount of effort that I was putting into it, compared to now, like I do put a lot of effort into it now, but now I'm reaping the rewards from it. So you're trying so hard to manifest it. But my point was, looking back, even though I put all that effort in, I can see that there were personal things that I needed to unfold. There were things that I needed to heal in myself. There was empowerment I needed to find out, to uncover in myself, to teach myself empowerment. There's been lots of self-development along the way. So the timing was never right. So I didn't need to even do all of that stuff. Like I was wasting a lot of energy back then. But I had this fire in me. I had this passion in me. And that's what you've got. You've got that passion in you, but you're kind of a bit forlorn too. You're a bit exhausted by it all, of having to try so hard and it's still not manifesting. Maybe you've got like law of attraction teachers saying you can't have it. You can have what you want. You can have it now. And you're like, give it me then. So that's what's crossing you. On the face of it, this is how things look on the face of it. The Ace of Voices. It's like you're starting something off all the time. This is you asking the universe all the time. You see the rainbow hair there, and she's got like this ray coming out of her head. Can you see that? Always wishing, always wishing, always wishing. You're still asking the universe. You're still like step one. This is step one, asking the universe for something. It doesn't manifest. So what do? You ask for it again. Well, you already asked. You asked the first time. So it seems like you're having to continually ask for what you want, right? Trying to manifest all the time. It's like you're not being heard. You are being heard though, and you were heard the first time. So why ask over and over again? Like a little kid. If you've got kids, you'll know this. When you're a mum and you're doing stuff, or a dad, and you're doing stuff, and your kid is just like, mum, 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 or they're asking for something, they ask for something, and they ask over and over again. You know how annoying that is. And you heard them the first time, right? And you're like, yes, you can have that. We'll do that later. But they keep on like that. It's annoying. The universe isn't annoyed at you, but it's that kind of energy. It heard you the first time. You don't need to keep on asking for it. Why do you keep on asking for it? Because you don't trust. You don't think that it heard you the first time. It heard you the first time. Your higher self is leading you to it, which is why I said you don't need to try so hard. All you need to do is follow the path. You're already on that path. It might take a bit longer than you thought. That belief maybe that you can have it right now, that there's not something to unfold within yourself or learn within yourself to become that person that manifests it, is an incorrect belief. So On the face of it, it looks like you're asking and asking and asking and asking. You're wishing for stuff over and over and over again. What's really behind that? Now, this is interesting. The High Priestess, because this is your witchy self, this is your intuition and all of that. It is about the inner work, this card. So you're doing the inner work, which is a great thing. You're attuned to that, doing the inner work. You're doing a little bit too much of it. I mean, you're doing so much of it and thinking that you're not doing it right. So you've got to do more of it. But what I'm really seeing is this, you see her third eye is shining out there, but look at her face. She's got half of it covered up. And this is the yin yang, right? This is the yin yang. So see her hands as well. She's giving energy out of one hand, but her other hand is on that cup there. It's on the moon, which is a cup. It's the receiving, it's the vessel, it's the yin, it's the feminine. So you've got the feminine, the receiving, and you've got the masculine, the giving energy. She's got half of her face covered up there. She's got the masculine side covered up. She's only got the feminine side out. This is telling me that it's time to receive now, but maybe you've not realized how to receive. That's why you keep on asking. This is like you're doing the masculine thing. You keep on asking. You're doing your vision boards. You're making your posters. You're writing your goals down. You're doing all of that. You're asking over and over again for these wishes to be fulfilled. What's really behind that is the universe is saying you need to get receptive. You need to learn how to receive. That's what's really behind it. You need to learn how to receive. And so maybe just like everyone else, you've been taught the masculine way. We all have, right? I remember being at school. It's like, no, you couldn't be feminine. You had to be the masculine. If you're going to get by in the world, you have to become masculine. If you're a woman, you have to be masculine. It doesn't matter. You just have to be masculine. I remember my dad taught me that so much as well. It's like, well, that's what you're going to have to be. You're going to have to be masculine if you want to get by in the world, because that's the way that the society has been, right? But this is not the way it's going to be for you. This is not your path. Your path is to get into the feminine and receive. So, what have you got going on in the past? This is what is past. The Two of Inspiration. This is about focus, but it's also about seeing the bigger picture. So, telescope there, being able to see things that are far off. It's seeing the bigger picture of it all. It's like you're piecing it together, piecing those jigsaw pieces together, trying to make sense of your life. And all the things that have happened and the things that have not happened, more importantly, trying to make sense of it. It's like you're really honing in on these dreams that you've had as a kid and making sense of your life. That's what's been going on for you, focusing more and focusing on the big picture. So there is real positivity to this, flowers, because it's like you're making sense out of your life, and that focus is really important, right? It's one of your superpowers. Your focus, your conscious mind. That's what you've been doing lately, is getting a lot of clarity, a lot of focus on the bigger picture. And I think waiting for what it is that you want is giving you that. It's making you come at it from all angles. And so there's method to the madness of the universe and not giving you what you want yet, because you have been doing this stuff. You've been getting this focus. Well, and what's coming in is really exciting from that. So this is your near future. It's the Page of Inspiration. So it's news coming in. A cat with a halo around it there in this card. It's news coming in. The path is, you are on the path already. The universe did hear you first time and it put you on that path, but there's things to do along the way. There's two cats with halos, in fact, in this picture. But this is news coming in that's going to move you forward. It's going to inspire you. It's going to move you forward. So I wonder what is holding you back then. Let's get some clarifiers for all of this. So this is really positive, like something great is coming. Something great is coming. Let's get clarifiers. So why the Six of Emotions? Why this forlorn, waiting for what you think isn't manifesting? So I almost get like a feeling of giving up on it. It's like, well, maybe it just isn't meant to be this lifetime. Maybe I got it wrong. No, I'm sure. Okay. You've got peace and perfect out with this. To clarify this card here, let me pick it up. The Six of Emotions. What this is telling me, peace and perfect, is that you're not at peace with yourself. You need to find some peace within yourself. especially this inner child in this card. Keep on getting drawn back to that inner child that's playing there. You know, we're all born, like all children are the same the world over, right? We're all born knowing how to manifest. We just play all the time. We're focused on play. We're dreaming things up. We're pretending. We're doing all of that. We know how to manifest. That little girl in this picture, she's sat on a suitcase and she's got like those old-fashioned, like a flying hat thing on and flying goggles on, and she's pretending to be a plane. So she's got these dreams of flying, of going somewhere and doing something. She's pretending, right? She's manifesting. And then you get taught out of that, don't you? Then you get taught, no, you've got to be sensible, you've got to be masculine, you've got to make things happen, you've got to comply, you've got to, get a job. Learn something that you don't want to learn that's really boring, and then get a really boring job. You've got to do that. Making peace with yourself and this perfection thing, right? You're a perfectionist. That's why you're doing too much. That's why you're asking too much. That's why you're doing too much. You still don't think you're enough. Flowers, you don't think you're enough. You're not at peace with yourself. You're not enough yet to let this in. So you've got this is behind it all, the priestess, right? And for this reading, this is about being receptive, being in your feminine. You're not being in your feminine because you're not at peace with yourself. Whether you're a man or a woman, by the way, we've all got a masculine and feminine inside of us. We all need to receive, right? And so your perfectionist is stopping you from receiving. It's like you always think that there's something wrong with you. There's always something more to do. There's always something you need to fix within yourself before you will allow it to come in. So it's you that's holding yourself back from this. So that's that Six of Emotions. That's why you're waiting. That's why you've had to wait. Now why? Why are you doing too much? Why are you manifesting too much? Why are you trying too hard? Okay, right, yes, this makes sense. You got service and take the risk. So this service card is about your work. It's about what you think you're here to do in the world, right? This Six of Emotions, this kid, she wants to do stuff, right? She wants to fly places. She's dreaming it all up, and it's stuff for herself, right? A little kid thinks about what they want to do in the world, the experiences that they want to have and all of that. They don't think, oh, what do I need to give to the world? What's the burden that I carry here in the world? What does the world expect of me? What do I need to do before I can have these? Kid never does that. A kid just wants what it wants, and it knows that it's worthy. And so this take the risk card, this is you still trying to prove worthy. It's like you've gone from a masculine paradigm of being in a job or whatever. This could be you being in a job or whatever. You want to do your own business or something like that to be in your feminine, but you're trying to do it in a masculine way. Even the manifestation stuff, you're trying to do it in a masculine way. It's like, well, I've got to prove myself. I've got to do something hard for it. I've got to try. Because I'm here to do something big in the world. The world needs something from me before it will give me my dreams. But it kind of does. You have to give energy out before you can get energy back. But you've been putting a lot of energy out into the world. And the universe knows that. So this is why you're trying too hard. You think that you're here to do a service to the world. You're not. I mean, it will be part of it. It will be part of it. But your life is for you. It is for you. You came here to experience this place and to have a wonderful life. You didn't come here as a slave or to fix the world or to fix other people. You didn't come as a savior or a martyr. You came here because you wanted to have some fun here. You wanted to come on this planet and create things and do stuff, but it was for you that you wanted to do that. And when you get back to that, when you get back to you, it's called self-love. When you get back to living your life for you, the service will naturally come about. I mean, look at me. I love doing readings. I do them anyway. I do them anyway with my friends. I do them when I've got nothing else to do. I do them for myself. I love doing readings and the videos. It's all great. It's great fun for me to do this. And I'm doing it for myself now. And when you do it for yourself, then you can do it. Now, I was in this energy years ago. I've had this business for 20 years. I started it off because I thought this. I thought that I was here to do great service for the world. The world needed saving. People needed my help. I needed to use my gift. I was given this gift to help others, not to help myself, right? And it was when I actually just started doing for the fun of it and doing it for me and to get something in my life, the stuff that I wanted. Then it all started working for me. And so it's that shift, the shift from the masculine, you thinking that you need to give the world something and do a lot for it, to taking the risk and your life being about you. So this is very much about finding your feminine, finding your receptive part of you, learning how to receive. What about the Ace of Voices? This is you asking over and over again for what it is that you want. What's all that about? Aww, flowers. You got cleanse and I am love. You didn't get what you want as a child. I mean, none of us got everything that we wanted as a child, but you felt unloved because of it. Maybe you had a real hard childhood too. You've got to heal that, and you've got to let go of that. The universe loves you. It does love you. Other people will love you properly. They will. And so you're holding on to this energy of, I'm not loved. I'm not loved. So you're still being that kid asking for what you want over and over again, but really believing that you're not going to get it, that your mum's not listening, your dad's not listening, that you're not going to get it, the universe isn't listening. You need to let go of that. You are loved. You are so loved by the universe and by your higher self and by other people too. Heal that. Let that go. You are loved. Maybe look for evidence that you are loved. I know it can be really tricky because I did that years ago and I didn't find evidence at the time and it was just heartbreaking, but I had to. That's what set me off on the self-love path. I knew I had to find it within myself then. So how can you get into this receptive energy? Let's get some clarity on that. This high priestess is what it is in this reading anyway. Yeah. This is interesting, isn't it? Because you've got I am appreciated and follow my knowing here with the high priestess card. And so to get into this receptive energy to receive requires you to appreciate yourself and know that you're appreciated by others. So when you really appreciate yourself, when you're really loving yourself and appreciating yourself, others will too. Others will reflect that back to you too. And you've got to follow my knowing too. So your intuition is really important. Like I wasn't picking up the intuition around this card, but then we've got to follow my knowing with it. And so the intuition is really important. And it's time for you to value that. I mean, what would I be if I didn't value my intuition? If I didn't, I wouldn't have this business, right? If I didn't value it, if I didn't charge for it, I wouldn't have this business because, there's costs to being a human being, to living in a place like this. Even running my business is cost. There's marketing, there's all kinds of stuff that I pay for every single week. In fact, now used to be every month. Now I pay every week because I do paid ads on Facebook for these readings. Maybe that's how you're watching that, is you clicked on one of my paid ads on Facebook. So yeah, your intuition is really important. It's time for you to appreciate that and value that. So it seems to me, flowers, that you have maybe healing gifts, intuitive gifts. You've got very feminine gifts, but you haven't been valuing that. You've only been valuing the masculine. That's what society has taught us to do, right? It's like the caring jobs, like the teachers, the carers, childcare, stuff like that is so low paid. Any kind of feminine work, so low paid, not valued. Like, shouldn't we be doing that for free? Like, shouldn't women be working for free? There's been that kind of mentality, and maybe you took that on a little bit too much. And now it's time to really value it. You've got to do that first before anyone else will. No one else valued me as a reader before I valued myself as a reader. So it's time for you to appreciate your gifts, your feminine gifts. That is going to unlock this receiving for you, along with everything else that I've been talking about here too. Now, what's all this about? This piece, putting the pieces together, looking at the bigger picture. What's that about? This two of inspiration in the past. Oh, nice. So you've been simplifying. This is simplicity and jealousy. You've been simplifying even though other people don't want you to simplify. This feels very much like you're putting the pieces together of this feminine kind of story, moving away from the masculine because it really isn't you, and moving into the feminine. So you've been simplifying, but then what happens? People get jealous, right? People that are locked into that masculine way of being, they get jealous because you're breaking free of that. And so you're on this journey of seeing that bigger picture, getting in tune with yourself, getting some clarity within yourself, simplifying your life to get into that feminine more and more. You're already on this journey that this is all talking about. You're already on this journey. But yeah, the hurdles that you've had in the past are other people's reactions to that, because they want the same thing. Well, you need to lead the way. You know, if you've got a lot of jealous people around you because you're doing this, maybe you're telling yourself, who am I? Who am I to step into this when other people are struggling in this masculine thing still? Well, who are you not to? Lead the way. Yes, they might be jealous, but in the end, you're leading the way. You're making it easier for them to do the same thing. If they're jealous, they want it too, right? And what is this great news that's coming in? It's like your path is going to open up in front of you, this page of inspiration. This is amazing news coming in to lead you forward, a sign, a synchronicity, something like that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to give you this information. You got the wait card. Okay, this isn't going to happen in a hurry. So you need to busy yourself with all of this that I've been telling you about, you know, dropping that, trying too hard and all of that. Opening up to receive. You need to get busy with that because you got the wait card. So this good news isn't coming in soon, sorry. And you've got guidance. It's going to come in as guidance, maybe through a reading or something like that. Oh, signs and synchronicities, as I was just saying when I pulled these cards out. That news is going to come in to move you forward. You're not quite ready for it yet, so you need to busy yourself with all of this. Right, so if that is all resonating with you, then book in for that deeper dive. I'll go through all of this again. And this card, which is also what the reading is about, your fears, your hopes, and the outcome, more importantly. And so you can book in for that. It's just 20 Australian dollars, which is about 15 American dollars. I'll pop a link for that up there. It's also in the description box below too. Thank you so much for watching, flowers. I hope you got plenty out of that. It's absolutely beautiful. I wish you could smell this along with me. So there you go. Have an amazing weekend, and I will see you next time. Bye. So if you chose the shell, and this one is for you, beautiful shell. So what I'm going to do is use the Muse Tarot here and pull out a Celtic cross, and I'll go through it. So what is this reading all about for our shell people? Let's find out. What is this reading all about for the shells? Ooh, that nearly came out. What is for the shells? Here we go. The Page of Materials. Beautiful card. Beautiful colours. And what is crossing you on that? So what's hindering you, shell people, around this subject, the Page of Materials? I haven't pulled that card before from this deck. It's a new one to me. What's crossing you? What's hindering you? What is your problem? What is Shell's problem? Get some clarity so that the shells can move forward. There it is. Oh, the hanging muse. The hanged muse is what's crossing you there. Now, how do things look on the face of it, on the surface of it? What does it seem like on the surface is going on in this situation for you? For our shells, how does it seem on the surface? Just the surface level stuff. What's the word I'm looking for? How things appear on the surface. It's not really how things are, right? It's just the image of it. It's when you're just looking at a shallow level kind of thing. You know, it's like when you're trying to manifest something and it looks like things are going wrong. And really, it's not. That kind of thing. What's on the surface of it? Shells, your cards are coming out really slowly compared to the others. There we go. Ace of Emotions is how it looks on the surface of it. It's very young energy in all of this. Hey, the page, the ace. I'm getting something about age. This is what's really behind that, though. The Muse of Inspiration. Okay, so what's in your past energy? Shells? What's in the past? about around this subject. What is in the past for our shells? So this could be the start of something, because as I said, there's a lot of young energy. It could be like the start of something that you're trying to manifest. It feels very much like the start of something new to me, with the cards that are already out. Okay, there we go. That's the past. Seven of Voices is in your past. Okay, you've had some dark stuff to deal with there. Future, Five of Emotions. Interesting. Now, that's what I'm going to go into in this reading, but let's get some more cards out for the extended, for the deeper dive as well. And so this next one, it's what the reading is also about. This is your fears. This is your hopes. Let me pick those cards up and then we'll get the outcome. Okay, let's try again. What's the outcome for our shells in this reading, in this situation? What's the outcome for shells for this reading? These four cards, I'm just going to go into those in the deeper dive read. Along with clarifiers, I'm going to get clarifiers for all of these cards here. Woo, there it is, the outcome. Wow. I like that. I didn't look at the others. So yeah, this is what the reading is also about. Your fears, your hopes, and the outcome there. So let's get into it. Shells. Let me put the shell there. So this is all about the Page of Materials. This is a bearer of manifestations. It's like the 3D, the material world, the stuff. It's money, it's stuff like that. See, she's got like a rose on her head here, and it's connecting to that rose there. It's like the start of things. It's like dreaming something up, the start of manifesting something, having some kind of a dream in your head, and then it turning into material, turns into a rose. She's got a rose on her head there. She's manifesting it into the material, but it's very much the start of things. It's like you maybe deciding that you want to manifest something else. That's what this is about. So it could be that you've had big endings going on in your life, and then suddenly you're like, okay, well, it could be like you're just out of a job, or a business that you've had is folded with the COVID thing, or with anything, or a relationship that you were in has ended, and you're thinking, I want to change my life now. And then you've got this new dream of having a family, or starting a new business, or moving house, or you've got a new dream that's just been instigated. Just in the dreaming stage at the moment, like you're just formulating it at the moment with this Page of Material. So this is a new chapter of your life is what it's feeling like. I had that young energy. So it could be that you are young. Generally not if you're watching my channel. But it could be that you've got that youthful energy again. It could be. This is what I'm picking up in my personal life too, is that I'm going into a new relationship, a new romantic relationship now, and I'm very much feeling this energy. It's like, wow, I could actually have a real relationship here. Like I'm feeling like a teenager again, like a real relationship is starting, a real innocent one, just like many, many years ago. And I didn't expect it to happen. So you could have something like that going on. It's like suddenly you're waking up to, wow, maybe my life isn't over yet. Maybe I can have something new. Maybe I can start a new business that it's really right for me. Maybe I can go into a new career at your age. Maybe I can have this new relationship. Maybe I can have a family now. It's that kind of thing. You're manifesting something new. It's just in the dreaming stage of it now, but it's very youthful energy. It's back to innocence, back to maybe I can have that thing. Maybe it's something that you wanted for a long time, but I'm not feeling that. I'm feeling like it's something new. Now, what is crossing you is the Hanged Muse here. So seeing things from a different perspective. That's what's hindering you And so this suggests to me that you're not seeing things from a different perspective. So something is locking you in to an old paradigm. You're still in the old story, even though you're dreaming up this new story, this new thing that you want to manifest. You're still in an old story, maybe in that old world paradigm. You're thinking, oh, it's not going to come about, or if it comes about, it's going to be in a really hard way, that kind of thing. This card is saying you need to open your mind up, maybe to a magical, easy path, grace and ease. See, there's a doorway at the bottom there. Maybe you can see that. Little doorway at the bottom there. There is a doorway to it. There's a way. There always is a way, and it's an easy way. It is an easy way. So you just need to open your mind, expand your mind. It doesn't have to be the hard way. It doesn't have to be the way that you've done things before. And so say if this is you thinking, oh yeah, maybe I can start a new business. And you're thinking, oh, but remember, it took me years to set up my business last time and to get it going. And, you know, those first 2 years are slow and hard, and most businesses fail in those first 2 years, and all of that story, right? All of that story. Well, maybe it's not going to be like that. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be an easy path. So you need to open your mind up to that and stop believing in your old story. Stop believing in the hard way. Because that's not the way it's going to come about. It's like you're being invited by the universe in this reading to step into that youthful, innocent energy that you had as a kid. Remember when you were a kid and you had a big dream? Maybe you told your parent or your teacher your dream, like, I'm going to be an astronaut. And they're like, oh, but that's going to be really hard. You need to do all this, this, and this, and this. And they talk you right out of it. But you didn't think it was going to be hard. You believed in an easy path to it. You thought it was going to be easy and magical. Get back to that now. So, how it appears on the face of it, you've got the Ace of Emotions. It's dreaming, it's longing, it's the feelings of it. It's like, I want it, I want it, I want it, I want it, I want something. You're in your emotions about it. It's all about feelings. You're wishing something and you're really wanting it. Again, it's right at the start of it, the Ace. Something happening, but there's a lot of energy. I mean, the energy of anything is right at the start of it. When we create anything, it's that initial energy that we have, that initial focus and the feelings that we have. That's what gives it impetus. That's what gives it the energy for the whole of its lifetime, really. It is. Like you start off a business and those initial intentions are everything. Same with relationships, right? So you're really longing for something, you're really wanting something, you're feeling it. You're feeling that lust for it, that energy is there for it. The emotional energy is there for it. See, she's exposing her heart there. She's just wide open. She's like, yes, I want this. My heart wants this. I really, really want this. That's how it looks like on the face of it, remember? What's really behind that is the muse of inspiration. Now, this is a king, right? This is the King of Wands. This is fiery, passionate energy, but it's the king energy. You've got all of this like youthful, innocent start of things, and then this is behind it. So you're not starting out. No, you're mature. You've got a lot too. You've got a lot of passion behind you. You've got a lot of wisdom. You've got a lot of fire in you and passion because of what you've lived already. You're not starting again. Things aren't going to be like they were before, because this is what's really behind it. All this knowledge, all this passion, all of this fire you've already paved this path out in front of you. You already know what to do. You've got skills and talents. You've dealt with stuff in your life. You know how to handle anything. You've survived this far, haven't you? You've got this King of Wands energy. You've got this Muse of Inspiration energy. There's way more to this story. You're not as innocent and beginning as you think you are, because you've got your whole life experience. You've got you. You're taking everything with you, your knowledge, yourself, right? Because it's not the stuff that we manifest in the world, is it? Like, you think that that's what you're asking for. You think you're asking for stuff in the world. But really, what you get is your growth, yourself, you developing, your skills, your talents, you being more confident. You know, it's all about you, and you still have all of that within you. And so You've got a head start and you're not even realizing it. That's what's really behind it. And so maybe you just need to realize that. Maybe that's how you look at things differently, to stop hindering yourself with this. Let go of that old story and just realize, oh, I haven't lost anything. Maybe you are starting off a new business and you had a business before. When you've got all of that experience, it doesn't need to be the way that it was before, because you know what to do now. You've got all of that wealth of experience. So in the past, Seven of Voices. Now, when I picked this out, I said about the dark stuff, didn't I? Because that's what I'm seeing. That's what I saw in this card when I first looked at it. You've got clarity up the top here, but at the bottom of it, you've got all of this darkness. It's like it's been a hard path to get to this point of clarity. You've been through stuff. And that's what I'm picking up on. This is what you're asking for is something you've already done. It's like you've been through a hard time. You've been through the darkness. It's given you clarity. You want to manifest something anew. You want to start again. You want to do something new. It's got something to do with what you've been through before. But you're this person now. You're not this person. Starting again doesn't mean having to go through this journey again. Starting again, you're already this person. You are already that person. So all that darkness that you've been through, the struggle, the hard times, all of that, you don't need to go through that again. Just saw a squirrel run by. You don't need to go through that again. Squirrel, being busy, having to save, having to, Yeah, you don't need to go through all of that hardship again. You don't need to take that long struggle path of learning, because you've already learned. You're taking yourself with you. So what you've got coming in is the Five of Emotions. This is you being a lot harder, frosty-hearted. It's like harder, more cutthroat, more I'm doing this, more determined, more black and white in a way, more less malleable, more focused. This is just really powerful energy. It's almost like this King of Wands energy that I'm feeling from this card, but it's more of a I'm gonna do it this time. I'm doing it no matter what, and if I have to push people out of the way, I'm going to do that. It's like a young version of the Queen of Swords, just getting on that path to becoming the Queen of Swords kind of thing. Very determined. It's Five of Emotions here, but I'm feeling that sword energy from it. It's about change, and it's about you growing up from this youthful energy. Because who you really are, it's like you're not even realizing. You're feeling like you're starting again, but you're not. Like, this reading is all about that. You're not starting again. You're starting with a wealth of knowledge. You are actually more mature, more wise. You've got much more about you than you think. And this new path that you had embarking on now, it's going to be a very different story this time. It's going to be a very different story. So this is it's like the Five of Emotions is disrupting me in this, because it's not the energy that I'm picking up. It's not the Five of Cups energy that I'm picking up, although I am getting change. I'm getting this maiden who's just decided that she's going to be a queen. You're going to be a queen. You're going to cut things out. You're going to be really focused, and you're going to get your shit together. And this is how you're feeling, right? As a maiden, not as a queen. But this is already saying you've got the king energy. You've got the king energy already. You are already that queen. You've already been through it. You are already that queen. So this journey that you're stepping into, you're going to realize pretty damn quick that you're not starting out, that you're not this maiden, that you are already the queen. You're going to step into that energy, but it does require you to have this determination. It's a really good thing. So this new path that you're embarking on, it's going to be amazing. Let's get some clarifiers for all of this. So why the Page of Materials? Why is this about a material thing, something you're manifesting in the material world? Yes. because you want to have what you want now. You've got get what I want and freedom. That's what you want now. You want what you want. It's like you've suddenly decided, look, I deserve something for my life. I deserve to have something for myself, not be in poverty or have no home to live in your old age or whatever. You just decided, this is what I deserve. I deserve to have savings. I deserve to have a nice car. I deserve to have a nice house. You deserve to have what you want for you, for yourself, and you deserve the freedom as well. You deserve to be free to do what you want to do, free to be who you want to be. So that's why you're manifesting it now. It's the foundations. That's what it is. Material stuff is very important. Like when we haven't got our foundations right. So I'm talking about survival foundations. I'm talking about your money, your home, your food, all of that, the basic survival stuff. If we haven't got that sorted, if we haven't got our material stuff sorted, how can we do anything else in the world? Because all we're going to be focused on is the material basics. In that way, you're going to be focused on paying that next bill or getting money for food. You can never do anything great in the world when you're just focused on that stuff. So I think you show people you've decided now, okay, I need to get myself sorted out. I need stuff for myself so that I can do something bigger in the world. This path is leading to a lot more, but you're at this stage now, and this is why you're feeling like that maiden. It feels like you're starting again. It's because you just decided, I want something for myself now. And freedom is a big part of it, so that's awesome. Why is the Hanged Muse crossing you? Why are you feeling locked into a certain perception? Right. So you've got detachment and communicate here. So this is something that was told to you, something that was communicated to you, that this is the way things are. Remember me talking about was that in this reading? Me talking about the masculine kind of paradigm society has taught us, right? That we have to be masculine in order to get what we want. But, I mean, look at me now. I'm not hardly in my masculine at all with my work. I am in a way. I've got a good balance there. But I'm certainly not in my masculine, right? Nobody at school or anyone was going to tell me when I was a kid that I could do this kind of thing. Not at all. So we are moving more into the feminine, aren't we? Because things are getting a lot easier and we're receiving more easily. And so you've got to detach from what was communicated, the rules. The rules were communicated to you at some point in your life, and you're being locked into that. Like you're only seeing things from one perspective. You need to detach from that. You need to set yourself free from those rules that you were given, because you can make your own rules up. It can be really easy, and it will be really easy this time. But you do have some of that old stuff to detach from first. It's mind stuff. It's beliefs. It was beliefs that you were given, beliefs that you were taught. Now, why the Ace of Emotions? Why this real wishing? It seems like on the surface that you're wishing. You're longing, you're feeling it, the desire for it, the desire for change. You've got willingness, and what you resist persists. So the emotion that's behind this, the starting out emotion that's behind it, is because you're now willing to push past this resistance that you've had. So you've had resistance to this all along, and it's like you're only just realizing now that you've been resisting it. Maybe you've been resisting getting focused on something for you, a house for you, basics for you, to get those foundations right so that you're doing good, so that you can focus on other things. Maybe you've been trying to focus on the bigger picture, helping the world and things like that, and you don't even have anything for yourself yet. Can't do that. You've got to look after your survival needs at least, and much more than that. So you're feeling great, and then you can give from that full cup, And so you've got this longing. Now you're willing to break free of that resistance that you've had, and it's been the resistance. It's the self-love resistance. It's the a resistance to focusing on yourself and making it about you. Yeah, it's like the resistance to selfishness, and it's like you're just realizing that you need to be selfish first before you can give out any energy. You've got to be full first. What's really behind that is the King of Wands. Like, this is amazing. This is the energy that you really are. Let's get some clarity on that. Oh, yes. This is the energy that you really are. Like, your spirit knows it. You're very strong on the inside. You're passionate. You know where you're going. You've got expansion and follow my knowing with this. So your intuition is strong. Your passion is strong and great expansion. It's like something you've known all along, is that you've got this passion within you to make something happen. And yes, it's like you're starting off on this new path to it, but you're not really on the start of it, as I said. You've got great things coming, great expansion. This expansion card, it's like growth, but it's way more than that. It's more like a big leap, you know? It's much more than you've had before. You've got really big things coming. And I feel like when you get these foundations sorted out, when you start manifesting that, then the big things can happen. And like in a few years' time, you might look back and go, why didn't I do that years ago? Why didn't I focus on myself years ago and getting something for myself? Because then I could have freed myself up to do all of these amazing things in the world that I always wanted to do. So why the Seven of Voices in your past? This path from darkness to light, from unknown, being susceptible. Look at all the wolves and stuff around there, and people beckoning you in, and it's like from darkness, being susceptible to being distracted, being not even distracted, like being pulled off path, you know, by dark forces and stuff like that, maybe addictions and things like that. To clarity, it's like you've taken that path. Why? Well, everyone takes that path, right? So I'm not really asking why, but why this card? Why is this in your past in this reading? You've got go for it and rest. You've done so much. You're not even realizing it. Hopefully you are now with this reading. Because it's not the material stuff that's the reward. You are the reward. You've built yourself up. You've become this King of Wands energy. So this reading isn't saying that this page of materials, you sorting your foundations, that's the reward. It's not the reward. That's you looking after yourself so that you can do much more in the world. It's you taking care of things. The materials isn't the reward, you are the reward. And when you realize that, you're going to be able to go for it and rest more too. So it's going to be a much easier path from now on, because you've already done the hard work. You've done the hard path. You've done this hard path. You've done the path of struggle already. And now when you go for it, you've got all of that wealth of knowledge. You're going to be able to rest more. So it's not going to be that hard journey that you think. It's not. Why the Five of Emotions here in your future? What's coming up for you? It's very interesting. You've got Get What I Want and Strength and Courage. So you're feeling like this maiden. So when you start getting what you want, it's going to feel a bit overwhelming to you, because you're not in your queen energy yet. You don't believe that you're in your queen energy. You're not in your power. You're not in your strength and your power yet. Or you're not feeling that you are. You're not believing that you are. It feels like this is going to be a fast path to you maturing. As I said before, when I picked up this card, like, you will get what you want, and as it comes through, it's like when you start manifesting your foundations, getting that core, getting those foundations together for you, because you're important. Everything is going to progress really fast. You've got this expansion card. It's going to progress really fast. That's why I'm saying you're going to look back and think, why didn't I do that years ago? And you're going to be feeling like the queen faster than you think. It's like your maturation. You're going to mature really fast. You're going to feel that difference, because you are already that energy. You're already the strong one. It's just you haven't felt strong because you've been judging yourself on your materials that are coming in. When you've got this foundation sorted out, everything is going to get so much better, so much faster. Wow. So there you go. If you do resonate with this reading, then book in for that deeper dive. I'm going to go into all of this again. And then this is what the reading is about too. This is your fears, your hopes, and the outcome. I'll get clarifiers on those as well and put it into a written reading for you and send you that. So if you are resonating with this, shells, and you would like that deeper dive read, then you can book in for it. I'll pop a link for it up there. It's 20 Australian dollars, which is about 15 American dollars right now. And I'll send that to you. Thank you so much for watching, shell people. I hope that helped you. Have an amazing week. I'll see you next time. Bye.